Good morning. I'm EZRAH and this is the Manila Times. Warmer temperatures and less rainfalls that cause droughts and dry spells. The country is preparing for a looming El Nino. The Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or Pagasa, says that El Nino will likely develop in July to September and may persist until 2024. Climate Monitoring and Predictions Chief Ana Solis also warned of possible forest fires and critical water levels. With this, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, has ensured that they are prepared in providing aid to farmers and farm workers who will be affected by this unusual weather. Joining us now is Assistant Secretary for Special Programs and DSWD spokesperson Romel Lopez. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the Manila Times. Sir, which areas have been identified by the DSWD that could be greatly affected by the looming El Nino?
Well, the Department of Social Welfare and Development has been in constant coordination, of course, with the Department of Science and Technology, especially with Pagasa regarding the forecast of the possible effects of the El Nino phenomenon, as well as the areas that could be greatly affected by the dry spell. Well, according to Pagasa's data, El Nino will possibly be starting in July and may persist up to 2024. The forecasted possible affected areas by October are Region 1, 2, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Region 5, Region 6, Region 7, Region 8, NCR, and Caraga. As of this reporting, the Social Welfare Department has convened and has talked to its regional officers, our field officers in our regions, to be ready. It was spearheaded by, of course, Secretary Rex Gatchalian, and he told them to make sure that we have, of course, sufficient fund, and we can preposition all our necessary assets, especially our food and non-food items that should be readily distributed, to those area that might be hit by this dry spell.
Senator Lisa Ontiveros raised the importance of having buffer stocks of rice and food commodities for these long dry spells or droughts, and for the farmers who might lose their livelihood and experience hunger during El Nino. So you mentioned earlier DSW will provide food and non-food packs. So do you think DSWD will have enough just in case it persists until next year?
Yes, when it comes to our disaster preparedness, we have the Disaster Management Bureau, or the DREAMB. It is a arm of the DSWD, especially tasked to respond to disasters just like this that are impending El Nino problem. At the start of the year, every fiscal year, we usually have at around 1 billion pesos worth of disaster response fund. This includes our quick response funds that we can utilize when we have like super typhoons and so on and so forth, or any calamities, man-made or natural calamities. With this, should our budget depletes, okay, we can easily ask the Department of Budget and Management to replenish it, so that we will have sufficient funds to buy food and non-food items that we can distribute. When it comes to fundings, we are confident that we can manage to respond to this El Nino problem. And even before the suggestions of our good senator, we have already prepositioned strategically our assets in our DSWD warehouses. We have tapped the help of our local government units so that we can preposition these assets of the DSWD, and should we need it, we can easily distribute it.
Sir, on another note, so the DSWD will be opening more satellite offices to assist individuals in crisis situations. So how do you identify AICS or those individuals that are in crisis?
Well, when it comes to our assistance to individuals in crisis situation, or our AICS, we call this is in Tagalog, this is what we call tulong for those who are in need, sa mga kababayan natin na nangangailangan. So when it comes to the criteria who will qualify for these interventions, there are those individuals who are in need, or families in need, that are experiencing crisis such as illness, death of a family member. They have been a victim of calamity, natural or man-made, and other difficult situation. So it could be in form of financial, medical, burial, and then transportation assistance.
Sir, these AIX offices, no, AIX, like what you said, where are they now? Are they open as of today? I remembered last time, April 27, and where are their new locations?
Yes, as of now, there are 2 existing AIX processing areas. So we have it here in the DSWD Central Office in Batasan Road, which services the entire Quezon City, northern Caloocan, and nearby provinces like some part of Rizal. But then, most often than not, our kababayans with the impression that when they go to DSWD Central Office, most likely they will be receiving a sumptuous amount of assistance. They used to flock the DSWD Central Office. But then we would like to clarify that. So regardless of where you will go, so even if you go to our field offices in Calabarzon, in Region 3, and so on and so forth, up to our field offices in Mindanao, you'll be receiving the same amount of assistance. So it doesn't mean if you go to the central office, you'll be receiving an extra assistance, or you'll be giving a bigger amount of assistance. It doesn't work that way. We have a standardized assistance mechanism. We have a bracketing system that we can assess. You'll be given from 1,000 pesos to 5,000 pesos to the maximum of 10,000 pesos if we're talking about financial assistance, and so on and so forth. When it comes to our medical assistance, you will be given a maximum of 10,000 pesos if it's an outright cash assistance. But if your service provider accepts guarantee letter from the DSWD, you're entitled to receive up to 150,000 pesos. We're talking about guarantee letter. So right now, today we've already opened additional processing areas for our AIX. So we have the Camanava satellite office, which is situated in in Victory Trade Plaza in Monumento. So this will facilitate requests for assistance of clients from northern Metro Manila or the Camanava area, namely Caloocan, Malabon, Navotas, and Valenzuela. We have also opened up Baclaran Satellite Office. It is located also in Victory Food Market beside the Baclaran Church. This will now cater residents of southern Metro Manila, especially the cities of Pasay, Parañaque, Muntinlupa, and Las Piñas. So in addition, we will also set up remote AX processing areas in the city of Pasig. This will cater the eastern side of Metro Manila, and we will also open another AX processing area in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, probably on May 3. So these areas, we're very happy to come up with this processing area, not only to decongest our existing AX processing areas in the central office and in our NCR field office in the city of Manila. But this is our way of saying sa ating mga kababayan, the DSWD is nilalapit. Ano po? Nilalapit namin yung serbisyo para sa inyo. And this initiative of putting up remote processing areas is in line with the directive of our President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. to provide services to the poor and vulnerable in the easiest and the fastest way possible.
Sir, it's so nice to know that the DSWD has presence not just in Metro Manila, but in all the other provinces as well. So you mentioned that there you will have assistance centers in all the other regions that will be affected by the upcoming El Nino. So for the farmers who would eventually need assistance, kasi hindi lang siya droughts, hindi lang siya long dry spells. They said mas malalakas na rin yung bagyo na parating during the El
Yes.
Nino. So how can they reach out to DSWD should they need assistance?
Yes. Well, for example, this assistance to individuals in crisis situations. So it is already available to our field offices. But right now, of course, we know naman that, for example, our field office in Calabarzon is situated in Muntinlupa. So it's not really that near to Batangas, to some part of Quezon. That's why we also have satellite offices in some of our major provinces. So they can just easily go to our field offices or our satellite offices for them to ask for assistance. Well, the DSWD social workers will help them, okay? Will give them the requirements. So some documentations that they need. For example, if they have medical assistance, they have medical needs, we'll be asking for the medical abstract, the medical records, some prescriptions from their physicians, and so on and so forth. We will help them to complete these documents, and from there they will be assessed if they are really in crisis situation, and then most probably it will not take them the whole day to accomplish should they are really in crisis, and provided that they are complete with their documents, it will not take more than a day, okay, for them to apply, to walk in, and eventually receive their actual payout. Because we've already streamlined these AICs. And then when it comes to our farmers in relations to the impending El Nino phenomenon, just like what happened in Mimaropa, Region 6, and some part of Batangas due to the oil spill, the DSWD definitely innovates and adapts to the situation or the needs of our vulnerable sectors or affected individuals. So aside from giving AICs or opening our AICs to those people in a crisis situation, we have already put up a mechanism that will ensure that the directly affected the fisher folks will be entitled for our cash for work or emergency cash transfer. So these are just the innovations that the DSWD is doing to mitigate the effects of any calamities. And for sure, if the El Nino phenomenon will definitely take its toll to our farmers, to our kababayan, the DSWD will be ready to innovate and to help them to the best of our capabilities.
Thank you so much, Assistant Secretary for Special Programs, Spokesperson Romel Lopez. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.